Joy Behar comes unglued, links Trump to 9/11 terrorists. For years now, but especially with the advent of Donald Trump on the political stage, ABC's The View has been one of the most overtly liberal television shows on daytime television. And for just as long, co-host Joy Behar has been one of the most certifiably loony liberals on a show that boasts no shortage of them, Whoopi Goldberg anyone. But even for The View, and even by Behar's loopy standards, Tuesday's meltdown over the Trump administration was beyond outrageous. Behar actually compared the United States with Trump in the White House to the theocratic barbarians of Tehran, where people can be executed for being gay. The moment came during an interview with CNN correspondent Ana Navarro, who was applauding the current round of protests against the Iranian government. "You cannot stifle freedom for that long," Navarro said, drawing a round of applause. That's when Behar butted in. "They told Donald Trump to stay out of it and not to tweet, and of course, he did," she said. "Well, yes, he did. Trump is the president of the United States." A comment from the president could encourage the Iranian demonstrators demanding more freedom from the repressive Islamic Republic regime. During similar protests in 2009, Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama, stayed silent. "To me, right now, we really have to keep our focus on Iran," Navarro said. "If somehow they're able to, get themselves free for these chains that bind them, for this autocratic regime, it would be a huge game change the world over. I think that is true in this country also," Behar said, returning to Trump. "If we can get away from him," when co-host Meghan McCain said commenting on international affairs was perfectly in line with the job of a president. As opposed to some of Trump's less presidential tweets, Behar didn't just step over the line, she jumped. "I thought it was the Saudis who were really protecting terrorists. 9/11 came from there. Those terrorists came from Saudi Arabia," she said. "He's in bed with the Saudis all the time, so I mean, come on." Behar wasn't finished yet. When McCain challenged her further on the Iran-Trump comparison, she went overboard again. "It's not apples and apples. It's not equal," Behar said. "But we're on a very slippery slope in this country toward throwing democracy out the window every single day." Compared to that, CNN's Navarro almost sounded sane. "We have to defend the freedom of the press and civil rights here," Navarro said. "We do, but you're not being stoned in the street for being gay," McCain said. "Not yet," Behar snapped back. "Not yet." That nonsense went unchallenged. Unfortunately, Behar got a disheartening round of applause at the end. Of course, the studio audience for The View isn't representative of the rest of America. But the approval the crowd showed for a woman who essentially proposed a link between an American president and 9/11 terrorists, however tenuous, and compared American conservatives, Republicans, to the savage murderers of the Middle East, proves a level of ignorance to rival a Stephen Colbert show. And considering these people are going to be voting in 2018 and 2020, that's a dangerous level for the United States. If Joy Behar's lunacy and the approval it generated are any indication, Republicans and Trump supporters are going to have to turn out in droves to keep Democrats from getting back into power.